party, yeah. Used to have a my Nautica. You know the money be calling up. Bring them tryna all of ya. Talking about he ballin', watch this. Started let me too quick. Went to Oakland with a few. Took 'em all you break. Dip. Yeah. Imagine what I paid for the rollie. Still from the police. 24 carats on my Kobe. That for the homies.
I'm addicted to balling. I had to get my cash. The money is calling. Got bands, got bands, got bands. I'm addicted to balling. I'm addicted to balling. I had to get my hands.
This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the Oakland Raiders. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year, but when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
They go play action here on first down. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
If they want it first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Copeland, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field as we get set to see Josh Rosen command this offense, the number 10 pick in the 2018 draft.
I guess we have to nickname him the thrower, aren't we, or something like
After
that.
last week.
I mean, man, you're talking about over 400 yards throwing the ball. The running backs and everyone else may be looking at him like, hey.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their second down call is going to look like now.
On second down, here's Rosen. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And got his man complete.
Holding offense.
Now that's one they hate. Still second down to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
Rosen here down around his own goal line. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Russell. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. The Raiders on the move, a couple of big plays in succession.
And that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. And that one results in 35 yards. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me an option of running play action, maybe throwing it.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's...
Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback, because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, and you're not going to have too many attempts shorter than that one. I don't think anyone got a finger on it. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
They'll run it now out of the gun. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Let's go!
To throw on 2nd down, Copeland. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A huge play there for Houston. 59 yards.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield. Those guys made that play possible.
And able to work his way down to the 16. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
And he'll take this one down near the 15. Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him old reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. First and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scout.
They isolate Hopkins on the left side. Looking to throw. Copeland. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Kiki QT, his second touchdown on the season. And the Texans are in for 6. An out route there for the score, a quick out route there for the score.
Yeah, you're not really surveying the defense on this one. You're just counting on timing, making this play happen. 1-2, ball's out of his hands, knows where he's going, just puts it to the outside. Touchdown.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. So out come the Raiders. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Chris Jones able to drop him for a loss of 4.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire...
And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. In for the score. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to drop those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to kick.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Raiders pick it up. And a return across midfield and to the 46-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet there are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused. Because it had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. As his guys are in for 6. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. And that was really just a great battle for that football on both sides. The result is a touchdown.
Ordinarily, I'd like to say it was a win-win, but it really wasn't, because the defender, while he was there with excellent coverage, He didn't get the benefit, did he?
But he's not going to get chewed up in film session, will
No,
he?
he was right there. They'll tell him, okay, of course you need to knock the ball away, but they won't be too upset with him. He did his job for the most part.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Set. Green 30.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Wasn't able to get anything, no gain. Fumbled once already. Maybe he's being a little careful. Not necessarily on that play, but I'm sure that's in his mind somewhere.
Oh,
And the Raiders have got him.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's had a big loss here as he's taken down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10. From midfield now, here's Rosen. Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Jadeveon Clowney in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Throwing on 1st down. Copeland. And this is incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Throwing again. Copeland. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, he couldn't turn it into much more.
Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball.
They'll run with Foreman. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot. And on that play, they were able to stop them short of a 1st down.
Meanwhile, in Los Angeles, an update from there. And the 49ers are out to the early lead. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. On first down, it's Rosen. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
2nd and 10 now. It's Rosen. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Intended that time for Cooper, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. If you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. And they'll run it here. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Well, he had 2 sacks earlier. Now he has 4 total tackles for a loss after that play.
Well, they obviously have to do a better job trying to block him. But really short of that, you know what the quarterback has to do? Make sure he doesn't hand it to him when he's back there thinking he's one of his own guys. His quickness, his suddenness, his speed getting into the offense's backfield has been something else in this game.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Rosen. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They'll start the drive with a give to Foreman. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. On 1st down, Copeland. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Copeland, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. The Texans on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and forever. Now Foreman. And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Fielded at the 20. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Final play of the half here. It's Rosen. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. So we've reached halftime here in Oakland with the Raiders on top, fielded about a yard deep. Oh, twisting. Now a hit and a loose football. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
When you kick off and you go downfield and get the ball back, That's what I call a great opportunity.
In a one-score game, I always circle, and you know this, but in my play-by-play sheet, I circle big plays. It could be turning points. This could be a turning point.
Did you put a second circle around this one? This is pretty big.
I put a star. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. Off the play fake. Copeland. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He had a quick little spin move, but the door shut fast as he's dropped. The All-Pro in 2 positions. Khalil Mack there to make the stop.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to make it 4th down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. Now they try the right side here. Bulldozes past him. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And on the ground they go with a running back. Strong run, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. On 3rd down, Rosen. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Gets a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Got some real estate inside the 30. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland first down.
Running lanes run a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. Escaping the pressure right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they left little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
3rd and long here for Rosen. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it also lead to a 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you'll see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
Now let's go! 3-19! 3-19!
On 1st and 10, Copeland. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. That'll get them some of what they needed, but they're still left here with a 3rd and 9 forthcoming.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to him back.
To throw on 3rd down, Copeland. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time is now run out. Back now in the East Bay. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the 4th quarter. This is taken at the 18. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Looking around the league from Raymond James Stadium there in the 3rd quarter in Tampa. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he's on to punt for Oakland. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go now.
Throwing on 1st down. Copeland trying to fight his tight end, Kelsey, and it's intercepted. picked off by Obi Melifonwu. So he actually goes back about 9 yards on the return, but the interception is clean, and they have the pigskin, and they take over.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
Looking left sideline, it's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards on the play.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, fourth quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm.
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the fourth quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give him a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make it second and short. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. That's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore. All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
That catch good for 5. It's third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
He goes full extension, and he's got it. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
To the right side, it's Kelsey. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Travis Kelsey, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans have cut it to within a score. So they fought half the battle here, but they're still down.
Plenty of work still left for them, but they delivered in the first step in their comeback attempt.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Josh Rosen and company getting set for their next possession. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
Now Rosen. And incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Rosen to throw on third down. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to fourth down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead. You've got to protect it. And he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, fourth quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Boy, you talk about not playing it safe. Why were they going for it there, Charles?
It's got to be a full evaluation of their team. Do they trust their defense in this situation? Maybe they think they've given all they can in this game and they don't have anything left. Do they not trust that the other team's quarterback is just so hot that no matter where they get the ball, they go downfield? Remember when Bill Belichick went for it in that game, right, against Indianapolis on the road, and everybody said, why'd you go for it there? I think he just thought to himself, on the other side, if they get the ball, they're going downfield anyway. He was trying to end the game right there with his own offense.
Looking left sideline, incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver, and it's third down. I guess they're in a situation now, fourth quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
Going to throw deep for the end zone. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's fourth.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
And his kick here is good. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. Back now on EA Sports. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Now it's Rosen. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Here's Rosen. He sets to fire deep. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the fourth quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Offense.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It'll be a pickup of 13 on the play, and that's going to bring up a third down.
Detroit!
Throwing now is Rosen. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. He gets 7 out of it, and he also gets a first. First down now, but that clock rolling. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. Rosen to throw. Flushed out right. Shelling through the defense. And, boy, that one drops incomplete. But if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. Third and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure. And if you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback and then make sure you blanket the field.
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. And incomplete here on third down. Fourth down now, and defensively, Charles, you know, they're just asking this crew for one more stop.
And you know that they're feeling the momentum right now, but they have to be very careful not to get over-exuberant, over-excited, and blow an assignment and give up the big first down.
Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. The Texans on third down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 10.
Here we go.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get across the 20, but only to about the 22-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. The Texans send the punter out. He's been terrific so far. It's taken to the 26. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here comes the Texans now. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. Here's Foreman, and that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt, I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. That catch puts him right at 100 yards receiving now, and it also gives him a first down. So he hooked up with a veteran there, and in overtime, that's not a bad idea. Go with the age and the experience.
Yeah, because sometimes the young guys, they give you the fresh legs and give you all that bounce. But in this type of a situation, sometimes those legs slow down a little bit as the enormity of the moment overwhelms them. The veteran guys, they tend to come through. If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. They go with the ground game, pick up the first, now in plus territory.
And that changes the whole mentality of the play caller, doesn't it? Once they cross the 50, they feel like they're in the strike zone. All right? You don't have to be in the red zone to take those big shots downfield or go after the end zone. Right now, that might be available to them.
And now this first drive in OT continues.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid game. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, but I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that. But a lot of those were really like baseball batting gloves to begin with not much of a tacky area on the glove. In fact, there was none. I actually remember in cold weather games wearing the old scuba gloves that you'd wear in the diving, but they would split too easily in the course of a game. Then the glove manufacturers got smart and started adding to it, and here we are today.
At 5 yards on the play there, it's a drive will continue. And I know you with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Here we go. 3-19.
Back to the air on second down. Copeland. Caught left side, Hopkins. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it up.
Hey, I ain't folding under pressure, I ain't switching for no. I ain't talking to no cop and I ain't telling on my bros. Ain't no but don't push me, fingers itching on that. Plotting on my come up, gotta watch they at my